Good morning. Okay, so I'm close to my house, about 5 minutes away. You can see the parking lot right back there. I'm just going to show you how much stuff is out here in the woods that we don't think about. I don't know how close the woods are to your house, but like I said, for me, this is about 5 minutes. So already I'm seeing some mustard, some more wildflowers. It's more mustard. I think they mix that with vinegar and maybe something else, and that's how you get your table mustard. This big tree right here next to me is covered with Japanese honeysuckle. So it smells beautiful right here. I mean, it smells like honey. These little flowers, you know, you can pluck them and you can actually suck the little sugar out of the ends of them. You don't get much, but when you have this much to harvest, I mean, you have a huge bush. There's some more of it growing on the fence right over there. So you could get a little energy from that if you needed to. There really aren't a lot of big food sources. I mean, there's squirrels, there's some little animals, there's bluegill in this little creek we're going to, and some little tiny crawfish. Okay, this is some wild lettuce. My emergency survival chart, we'll talk about that. One of the other things that's great is bamboo. So here we are, not even 10 feet into the woods. A little bamboo forest. Basically, here's a sprout, which actually has grown a little bit. I came out here and scouted yesterday, and this was exactly the size of my pinky, and looks like it's actually grown a little bit, which just shows how fast the stuff grows. I don't know how much food you'd get from that. You'd probably want it to get a little bigger, but bamboo shoots are definitely edible. This is cedar, red cedar that we have all over the place. This bark is really good tinder for starting fires. So, what I would do is take some of this, put it in my pocket. Hopefully it'll dry out a little and be able to take a spark in a little while. I'm going to try that. But if not, I have my own little fire kit that I made that it's got some really good tinder, some dry tinder. So I shouldn't have a problem making a fire. Okay, so here's the creek. Big limestone creek. Pretty good flow because we've just got some rain. And like I said, there's not a lot of big menu items here, but the one thing I will discuss, and it's sort of an ongoing project I'm working on, is this greenbrier. And I've already talked about greenbrier quite a bit. Here's some more. I might even consider digging that one up. I'm thinking about trying to find a plant that I can dig up that's going to show you some of the tuber and how to process that. I'm probably going to build a little fire and try to cook it up like potatoes. That's basically what it is, starch, but you could feed a lot of people. It's kind of like finding a sack of potatoes in the woods. And if you're hungry and the grocery stores aren't available, or you're lost in the woods, whatever, you can still find something to keep you alive for a while. Okay. So here I am, back at the creek. I'm going to show you something else that I found that's pretty cool. I talk a lot about food sources, but there's actually a good water source here too, besides the creek. This is a great little place for a shelter. You're going to find some dry tinder in there. You could easily build a fire in there. You got some shelter overhang, a little natural shelter. Okay. So okay. So around here is you see a lot of runoff coming out of the mountain. Now, the reason I know that's not from the rain is because I was out here yesterday when it was a lot drier, and these rocks were wet because there's a lot of runoff coming off the side of this, not from the hill, but from these little springs. I have a feeling they probably go year-round. So, I'll try to give you a look in there. And you can see there's like, I think it's a stalactite, stalagmite, where it's attached. It could possibly be a root that's calcified, but to me, the way it's completely vertical like that, I think it's probably a little stalactite, which is pretty cool. So that's an old source of fresh water coming out of the mountain, being filtered through all this limestone and the earth above. Again, another one. This one's dripping a little faster. This is how places like Dripping Springs, Texas, get their name. And I'm not going to go too much further along the creek here. All I'm saying is, just here we are, maybe 100 feet into the woods, or maybe 100 yards into the woods, and you know, we've already seen greenbrier. Some of this moss is edible. If you get my emergency survival chart, there is one for Austin that would describe all these plants I've already talked about. It talks about medicinal uses, it talks about Native American uses, and of course food, and it also identifies you know, poisonous lookalikes. So I think it would be a pretty good thing to have in your bug out bag if you lived in the Austin area, or just in your, you know, emergency survival or emergency medical kit at home, whatever. It's got discusses all kinds of stuff, and obviously you're probably you know, you can look at the website and get all the information you want about it. There is bluegill, and I know there's crawfish because I saw some yesterday when I was scouting. So those are some other little protein sources, which is, you know, protein's pretty hard to find. Because it's called Walnut Creek, there's definitely some walnut trees somewhere. If you could find those, and besides the actual walnut, the green husk can be used as a fish poison. So it's a way that Native Americans would use to catch fish, just by using the chemicals in the skin of the walnuts, the green walnuts. So that's the kind of stuff that's on my chart. Of course, it tells you all about map reading and fire making and everything else. It's just a cool piece of gear to have. What I'm going to do now, I'm not going to keep showing you this creek bed or anything, but I'm going to go try to build a fire. I'm kind of hoping the rain kicks back up so I can demonstrate in the rain, but I'll make you. Otherwise, I guess that's it. Check out some of the other videos, and talk to you later.